It was about 1998 or 99. I'm not exactly sure which right now because my memory doesn't serve me correctly, but I believe it was in 98 or 99. I was in the process of transferring from the Methodist system into becoming a part of First Christian's ministry. I had been a Baptist minister most of the time that I've been in ministry since 1978, but I was also a part of the Methodist Church because I was a member of the Methodist congregation before I became a member of First Christian. However, at the time I became a member of First Christian in 94, I had decided that it would be in my best interest to learn the church a little bit before I decided to take a leadership position. But at the urging of the late Richard Johnson, he asked me to come on board as a part of the leadership team because of my credentials in the Methodist Church. However, the Methodist Church didn't really accept my credentials because I had gone to an HBCU and they were not aware that the HBCU that I went, that's a historically black college in case any of you didn't understand. I went to Virginia Union University and then I went to the School of Theology at Virginia Union where I received my master's, but the Methodist system did not accept that. And because they didn't accept it as an accredited institution, because they weren't aware of Virginia Union, they did not allow me to formally enter into the system. And so when Reverend Johnson asked me to become a part of the leadership, I went on and accepted it. And I went through some examination process because I told him I did not want to be treated any different than anyone else who was becoming a part of leadership. And so I went through the examination process that is set up at First Christian. And after all examinations, I became a part of the leadership team as a part of a transfer, not just being ordained as a minister because I was already ordained as a minister. And so I kind of transferred from out of the Methodist system and the Baptist system into First Christian's ministry. And that's how I became a part of the leadership team at First Christian. I'm a part of the choir here at First Christian. I've been a part of the choir for many, many years. Actually, at one point, I was directing the choir at First Christian, but now I'm just a member because, again, I don't have the time due to my secular position to take leadership of the group as I did before.
Reverend T is the breakup pastor.
He will break up a pulpit.
I'm like, oh my gosh, what is he going to break up now? That's going to cost us. And I know it's just in his excitement. It's always in his message. But every time Pastor T is ready to preach, I always think of, oh, what is he going to break up now?
It's Reverend T, Pastor T, Brother Terence. It's all of that. Pastor T is a brother who, when he gets a mic in his hand and he's behind the sacred desk, you can see his elevation. When I say elevation, Pastor T wears his sermonic outpouring on his sleeve. And he's a brother that, while he may be in a small frame, what comes out of the mouth and how he expounds on the word is one of you ask for and you look for more, but sometimes I feel it's in his expository he's going to hurt himself because of how he lays out what God has given him. We pray for him often when he's behind the sacred desk.
He comes from a Baptist background, and certainly we can see that in him.
Oh, Reverend T is a perfect example of a Baptist preacher. If you grew up in the Baptist church, which I did, I have a background, he just reminds me of a Baptist preacher. You ask Reverend T to pray, it's going to sound like a sermon. You ask Reverend T to preach, it's still going to sound like a sermon. You know, that's Reverend T.
Reverend T is very smart. He's very educated. When I listen to some of the things he pour out, I can tell he studied a lot in school and through his education.
Actually, he is a seminary pastor. Yes, and so he has the knowledge and the wisdom.
One thing I like about Reverend T, he's so trained, far from a theological seminary training, but yet very down to earth.
He's a minister, pastor on the team. His heart is there, but he may not always be there, but his heart is always with the team.
Reverend T will find a way. So Reverend T is the pastor that he works. Pastor, we have a monthly meeting and Reverend T has a schedule that doesn't allow him to attend. But we'll be on a call and we don't know how this secret number done got into a private conversation with the pastors. And guess what? It's Reverend T. Because even though he's working, he has found a way to listen in, and we'll just get that, I'm listening in. I can't talk, but I'm listening.
I get so amused when the group gets a text from him because he always identifies himself. This is Pastor T. Like we don't know that it's Pastor T, but that's my boy. Pastor T, Reverend T is my boy. We tease each other all the time. Every time I see him, we're cracking on each other. So we have a very, very good relationship.
He is always dependable. That's the awesome thing about Reverend T.
Reverend T, if you don't know, could come across as being quiet, but he's far from it. He gives good, I noticed during discussions or what have you, when he's there, he always has a good insight on what's going on and how he views things.
Low stature, but got a whole lot of power inside of him.
He has the stature. He has the voice. And he's powerful. He's a one-man rod squad. He really is. When he gives the word, he has the body movement. All that he does, I can't do.
Reverend T is a worshiper.
He's the worshiper. He will worship all by himself. He will get you to worship. He is the worshiper.
And Reverend T can sing. He can sing a little bit.
He is really good at a lot of different things. I mean, he can sing, he can preach, he's a good Bible study teacher.
The awesome thing about Reverend T is that he is always there. You never have to wonder who's going to have your back if you're going out to preach somewhere or, whatever you may be getting into. Reverend T is always going to be that person that's going to either encourage or is going to be there to support you.
Now, Reverend T is able to bring folks by his mannerism, draw to him, because he's a helper. He has compassion for folk. He has love for folk. So he's one that will take on somebody else's burden, and he will mean exactly what he does.